Ladies and gentlemen, we have someone in the waiting room here on the program Dave's Gone By. I'm Rabbi Sol Solomon, of course, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches. Oh, this person has their audio and their camera off. So let's see. So now hello, shalom. Shalom to you. Say something. Hello.
Hello.
Shalom to you. I am Rabbi Sol Solomon of blessed memory, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck. And I'm going to be delighted to be talking to a cabaret guy named Richard Holbrook in about half an hour. But it is so delightful and wonderful to see you. And forgive me, I did not recall that we were scheduled for a chat today. Were we?
Well, let me think about it for a moment. The answer is yes, but we can do it another time.
No, go away. This is going to be wonderful. This is going to be fantastic. I apologize. The person who produces this show is a complete idiot. So his name is Dave. I know him very well. And you know, sometimes things fall in the cracks. And then he has to go to a proctologist to get them out. But you are doing...
I can understand it's all behind you right now. That Joyce, your lovely, adorable wife?
Oh, you have been watching the show. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I would have had Dave announce you and whatever, but I can remember.
Shall I introduce myself?
Well, you're NANCY REDMAN. This we can tell people. And you have this one-woman show that keeps getting extended, but please tell everybody about it while I make up some questions. Go.
Well, that was fast. You got where I am and who I am and what's happening.
But
yes.
The name of the show again, remind everybody.
The name of the show again. I'm glad you asked. It's I'm so nervous. But that's not so easy to do.
Make you nervous? Oh, please, I make everybody nervous. Yeah.
That's okay. A seance with mom.
With mom, that's it. A seance with mom.
A seance with mom.
Well, directed by our friend of the neighborhood, someone who has been on this program a couple of years ago, Austin Pendleton. Yay! Yay!
Yes, yay. Always brilliant, Austin Pendleton. And thrilled to be here with you. And this is exciting.
It is thrilling to me. But let me ask you, where is it playing?
That's a wonderful question. I'm glad you asked.
Okay, where?
At Chain Theater, 312 West 36th Street in Manhattan.
312 between 8th and 9th Avenue. The Chain Theater is where you can get tickets. Now, how much longer currently is it playing before it gets extended again?
Well, it will be August 21st through September 3rd.
Whoa!
18 performances, Rabbi.
Kai! You know this. Are you a Jewess? Are you?
I am indeed. I was bas mitzvah. This is giving me extraordinary memories.
What do you remember about your bat mitzvah, NANCY REDMAN?
Well, it was a lot of gelt.
Oh, well, we all felt guilty most of the time. No, but so they gave you.
What do I remember? What was your question? And then I'll answer.
Did you have a big party? Was it just in the shul? Did you go to Israel, or what? What was your like?
It was a lovely party afterwards, but the very exciting thing was reading it in Hebrew and in English, the Shema, for our friends, Jewish and Gentile. It's a wonderful prayer that's said many times during the day. But it was very exciting. I loved Hebrew school, and that's about it.
You love Hebrew school. I never hear that. I mean, people go to Hebrew school, they survive Hebrew school. They take a racer, they don't survive Hebrew, but you enjoy. Oh, that's so nice. So, what part does Judaism play, if any, in your life at the moment?
Well, it's in my play, but yet it's for everyone of all races, religions, of all nationalities. But there is a wonderful, I think you come the first night, come opening night. I want to see you, Rabbi, there.
Wait, how can it be an opening night? This has been running for weeks already.
Well, it's a re-extension, so it's another open. There's always an opening night.
I love it. Thank you. I'm going to thank you, by the way, for the invitation. That is most tremendously kind of you. So being Jewish, I do not believe personally in seances and things like this.
Yes, that's true.
What is your play about?
Well, I have wanted to get in touch with my mother for quite a while, and I have been praying, and lo and behold, it happens. There is a kind of a disorganized rabbi that does show up.
So this is not based on a real thing where you went to Seance and actually, quote unquote, met your mom. Oh, is that you? Here, give me $50, says the woman with the glass ball. You're making all this up. This is just a show. Yes? Yes.
No.
No.
It is a show, but I am an observer of what's happening. There are characters there. I am watching the characters. They are in their own lives. Yes, it's through my imagination.
Okay, got it. All right, good. Because so many one-person shows are, you'll never believe what happened. I survived, bringing drugs across Mexico. I did this, or you're like, oh, let's talk about. So you're not even you in the show. You are a character.
There are 6 characters, right? You're correct, and I did survive coming through Mexico with drugs. However,
I can tell, yeah.
but no, there are different characters, about 6, but there are some main ones, and then there are others that come and go at different times. But the situation is, it's wonderful to see them and on their journey. That's what's exciting about one-woman shows. This is my 5th. Yeah, it's been wonderful. I have one more that no one has seen, and perhaps I'll just show it to you and enjoy.
We have the time, and I don't have any questions, so you might as well start doing it. Give us the first 5 minutes. We'll see if we want to see the rest. We'll do the rest on pay-per-view. It's like, if you like the first 5, come on, watch. No, so what is this new show? Is it a new show or an older one that just hasn't been?
Well, this is a totally new show. Now, the thrilling thing is 18 performances have been done already between April. It was 4 in April, and then another 14th in May, which went into June 4th. Now I have another 18.
Right, good.
Yes.
No, but we were talking about the new show that hasn't been seen yet, or is this? Or you're talking about?
I'll let that stay hidden. There is a new show which I'll come back to speak to you about when we'll prepare another interview.
I'll prepare my first one, and you'll be prepared for your second. That'd be good. But okay, so and yes, Mazel Tov on this being done in the chain theater. It's right in the heart of Manhattan. You can't miss it. What was it like working with the indefatigable? I can't believe I was able to get that word out. Austin Penley. Either he's acting in something on, off Broadway. He's directing. He's just this polymath person. What was it like working with him?
Always brilliant. Always exciting. I love what I learn. He is a mentor, a friend, and I'm always fascinated by whatever problem I have. He has an answer for the situation based on all his experiences in theater, of course, as a theater icon, and film. So it's been wonderful. I'll give you an example. My spiritual people from the other side show up.
I'm drinking spirits from this. I'm telling you right now. I was like,
well done. It is connected. The alcohol, and yeah, that's why we're looking for a higher power.
Well, maybe you are. I found them long ago. I had no use for him. But please continue. So Austin tells you.
I'm glad you shared that information. I like to find out about you, Rabbi.
No, you really don't.
I don't want to know about you.
I don't want to know anything about me. It's all bad. But no, so Austin Pendleton gave you some stellar advice or did something in the stage.
Well, on every show I've worked with him. This is it's actually the 5th show we worked together with, but and I've been very blessed to do that with very exciting accolades. I won't go into it. I'll let you go into it next time.
When you bring in the show you're not going to talk about now.
That's right. I'm not going to talk about it now. And then in that interview that we haven't done yet, you can research me and find out all the things that we haven't said this time.
Right, exactly.
Which will work out next time. So maybe we'll make sure that we'll be together. In fact, we can meet and have coffee sometime.
How do if you'll pick up the check, absolutely. So, but you still haven't.
Back to where I was talking about, Austin. Yeah, you're following. That's great. You're a good follower. You're a good therapist. So back to Austin. Yes,
back to Austin, specifically doing something you wanted to, an anecdote.
About the spirits. The spirits from the other world come and go. Mm-hmm. There are times they come and go because there is a I love the expression, a hapless rabbi, a rabbi that is trying to do his work and makes some mistakes. He's bumbling. So,
I'm just rolling. Yeah, okay.
and so there are spirits that come to me from the other world. And as they come, I said to Austin, as we were rehearsing, I said, do I need like some sound effect? Do I need some lighting change or some sound effect that would indicate that this is from the other world? And he said, well, and I said, he said, what do you mean, like what? And I said, well, like something like, and he said, that. And I said, you mean something like that? And he said, no, that. I said, what do you mean that? He said, that's lovely. I said, phew. He said, yes. He said, it's funny.
Make the noise yourself and just go. Psh.
Right. Now that's a wonderful example, I think, about simplicity and keeping the play in the form of a play, not necessarily needing anything but the story. The gestures are the most important. And that's what he explained to me. Gestures are important. And that continues with all.
I was driving the other day. This guy cut me off. I gave him a gesture. If I tell you, it almost killed me. But it was the right gesture at the right. I didn't need a sound effect, although I shouted at him, honked. But no, you didn't need that. You just saw this. I was like, aha, gesture.
You handed it to him. That's your point.
Yes.
You did well.
My feeling. I did. It's all it took. A quiet little moment of gesture. Now, you said you how long have you been doing one person? You're a woman. I can call you one woman shows.
You can call me a woman. You can call me a lady. You can call me a gal. You can call me a girl. You can call me Nancy. You can call me, well, not Nadine. That's my character in the play. Okay. You don't have to call me Nadine. She is another person. But yes, thank you for calling me a woman. It's lovely.
Yeah, you are a lovely woman. No, but nowadays, it's no more one man show, no more one woman show. It's a one they show. It's a one thing show. Thing is up there doing something about cutting their boobs off and becoming another kind of genetic thing. Yes.
Okay. By the way, I had a lovely review where it said that there were hilarious and surprising moments throughout. A lovely review. I'll send it to you for the next interview. However, no need for me to pursue this. However, I love the way this lovely reviewer, Cynthia Darling from Thinking Theater, said. What she said was, besides the humor that is surprising and throughout the play, there are serious moments. And yes, there are. No, I don't cut my breasts off or I don't get drugs in from Mexico, but there are some very serious moments, Rabbi. And you know, it's been more than a joy connecting with people. In fact, I've had connecting with people, of course, people, there could be some animals, some zebras or a possum in the audience, but I don't think so lately.
But it's just playing possum, at least when I do my shows. No, it's just playing possum. I love the show. Yeah.
There's a 2 opossum minimum, actually. However.
No, that's impossible.
That is impossible to say.
Impossible. Yeah.
No, I got it. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
You're wonderful. You're wonderful. I grew up with comedy, and here I am with a very funny rabbi. So
I'm going to stop you there. What do you mean you grew up with comedy? Talk to me. What do you mean?
Well, where was I speaking? Oh, well, that's okay. We'll go with you now.
Yeah,
my mother was wonderful. She was hysterically funny. And I was blessed. I was blessed with a woman that was naturally a comedian, a natural comedian. Wherever she went, people said, you're a comedian. She would go, no, my daughter is a professional comedian. Yeah, this went on throughout our lives, which was, of course, when I was younger, she didn't know I was a professional comedian. Then I was an actress. I went into performing arts high school. I wanted to be an actress, a writer, a singer, a teacher. I've accomplished some of those, I may say, with some humility. But however.
What would be your most known, if you will, credit as an actress?
Appearing with Rabbi Sol Solomon.
Well, you weren't in my show Shalom Dammit, An Evening with Me. That was my only stage performance besides this stupid podcasting. No,
I-
no, you
I
were.
mean, this moment with you is my most important credit. And that's what's happening when you're in the now, in the moment, in the present.
That's right. And with all the theaters closing, basically, this is the only opportunity you can get. Any.
That's right. In fact, I'll be here every week. I'll be surprising you. I'll be in the waiting room and you'll say, who the hell is the same person? It's Nancy Redman. Because there's no theater for me to go to except for Chain Theater, which is wonderful theater.
How am I?
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah.
and I'm sorry, I know we're bouncing all over the place, but I do have to ask: is this a thing where you rent the chain and then people come? Is that how it works? Is it one of those things where it's X $100 per night and
It is X $100 per night.
you get the
I'm
tank?
sorry to interrupt you, Rabbi.
Oh, please, no. How is it? What is the model here? Because it's not like the chain is a regional or an off-Broadway theater that produces.
You
It's
know what?
a room.
It is one of the loveliest, most intimate theater. Seats 30. If it has to be, they'll bring out 10 more chairs. So
No, hey, believe me, 30 people who are into the show is better than a room of 100 chairs with 40 people who don't give a crap. You know,
all I need is my 30 filled or 40. And intimate, wonderful, lovely people that run it. And it is rented, yes, but it's a wonderful, intimate space. Just what I needed. Just what I needed.
and you made right now. It's just running through September 3rd.
No, close. That's the last day. It's
running through.
Oh, running through. You're right. There was my hearing, a little hearing loss.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah.
All I hear in this is Shlomo Carlebach. It's just 24/7. The radio signal implanted, and now I can't get it. Wait, you know, I know. Anyway, that doesn't make any sense.
It made a lot of sense to me. You got connected through another radio, and I hope I'm on that radio with you. But in reference to what we just said,
Yeah.
yes, August 21st through September 3rd, in those 2 weeks, I will be doing 18 performances, which I'm thrilled about. I have created.
That's kind of like what I was doing, and I don't mean always talk about me, but of course I always
Please
talk
do,
about
please do.
Well, I did Shalom Dammit at one point. I tried doing 9 performances. It almost killed me. But that means we're doing 9 shows per week just to maximize the, yeah, is that true?
Yeah, 12 evenings at 7 p.m. and 6 matinees at 3 p.m. And I expect you to be at most of them.
Oh, absolutely, with bells on.
So I'll be able to hear you.
So much noise. The other members.
Bells on is fine. Sitting there, I'll know it's you. But in any event,
but besides me.
Yes, besides you, what some of my
like your before you started doing the one person, one woman shows. What was like what your biggest regional or off Broadway or Broadway? What was like when you put on your resume? Oh, I did this.
No, I get what you're saying. It was a great question. By the way, it was a great question. I toured with Soupy Sales as a stand-up comic. I did for 4 years. I toured with Chubby Checker, the twist.
I know who he is. Wait, Sales I get.
You get. So I was the host and MC and performed comedy a very long time at Dangerfields in New York City. Perhaps you were there and you saw me. And I'm back with you.
Okay.
So Dangerfield.
Stop. Every time I have to stop you because it's like, tell me a Soupy Sales story.
I love the way he told me to introduce him. I would open for him 4 years. He would say, just all you need to say, Nancy, is direct from the dressing room.
That's good. That's
yeah.
And was he nice? Was he, because
he was wonderful. He was wonderful. I just been very, very lucky. It's amazing to do a gig in New Jersey where I was told I would open for Soupy Sales. And when he saw me, he said, let's work together. So that was great. And so we went to Detroit. We went to what's now Detroit, right? Detroit, where, as a matter of fact, he became legendary in the early days.
Oh, that was where his television show came from?
That's where it started. That's where it started. Yeah. We were in Huntington, West Virginia, where he grew up. He's from, all this is coming back to me. Franklinton, North Carolina. I think he was one of the few Jews there, Southern Jews. But in any event, he grew up in West Virginia, and the West Virginia Plaza became the Soupy Sales Plaza. And I was there a few years with him, and it was an audience outside full of children, which was wonderful to do a show that's for children as well as adults. And I love doing that. And so I am a clean comedian. I could be the other way. I did the proms at the Dangerfield. She keeps going. That's me. She speaking in the third.
I missed that part.
You lost me because I spoke in the third person. Proms. I said I could be dirty if necessary
Yeah, I get that.
for the proms. For the proms, Rabbi. Sorry to bring up the word.
Oh, I just so when people are out, I didn't quite get that reference.
Yeah, no, I went off on a tangent. It's early in the morning. However, let's get back to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think about me? So there's a Bette Midler. So what was Chubby Checker like besides Chubby?
Also wonderful, wonderful. Working in the adult communities in Florida. It was great to see people with walkers and oxygen tanks standing up and doing the twist in the audience.
Well, you have a twisted sense of humor, so that will.
It worked out.
Yeah.
Perfectly said, Doctor.
So why do you still do? I mean, you've channeled obviously stand up into theater, but you still do stand up, or did you just say, the road is too much? It's not worth it.
I've had many shows where I do stand up with the theater monologue, so it's stand up in theater, of course. I had first started with my first one-woman show, Clutter. I am Clutter. I'm saving my life and it's killing me. That was my first solo play.
How long ago? When was this?
2010, 2011.
Oh, pretty recent still. So
well, and then my second solo play that you asked me about in the past of this interview, about 15 minutes ago, some of the things that I've done after my working with different wonderful people that I mentioned, is called Emergency a la carte. And I was blessed to win Best Comedian Award at the United Solo Theater Festival for 2 plays and one Best Stand-Up Award for the third one, and Best of the Decade Award for the fourth one. My
Best
theater
of the decade. That's 10 years.
In the Best of the Selection of the Decade. No, it's very exciting. I'm hopefully as also my theater company, which is American Renaissance Theater Company. I'm thrilled to be with them. It's an honor, and they gave me the great honor of excellence for my play before this one, entitled At Wit's End, A Home for Retired Comics. And they gave me a lovely award, an honor of excellence in playwriting. You know what, Rabbi, the great thing about starting out with stand-up and still loving stand-up, but as time goes by, to make the humor come out of the characters, not just the jokes, not just the jokes, although I love growing up with jokes and living with jokes. I've lived with many. However, making the comedy come out of the characters and talking about what it's like to be human. That's what I hope is meaningful for what's happening in this play. It's a departure. There's humor. It's serious in certain moments, but God will.
At some point, you realize the mother is still dead, because it's a seance.
You realize,
I'm coming back. It's like, no, she's not.
But she's dead from the beginning.
Yeah, right. But let me ask you, speaking of death, have you had, since you spent all those years as a comedian on the road with Soupy and Chubby and yourself, did you ever have the hell night? Did you ever go to a bunch of Shriners and try and tell them jokes? And not
only have I had it, it's still nightmares come back, but that's a joke. By the way, I worked also with Charo, not to mention, not to leave her out. She was just delightful in Orlando. It'll come back to me, but it was
Charo.
Yeah, the wonderful Charo. She's exactly the way she is on stage, off stage, the exact same, adorable, funny, affirming, wonderful. And speaking of working with wonderful people, I love to hang out and worked. I was an opening act for Jackie Mason. I'm sure you love.
Now, wait, okay, now here's the deal. Everybody has apparently not nice things to say about Jackie Mason. That he was this, that he was that, speaking of the finger, that probably brought Jackie Mason in your mind. But it's like, you thought he was great, I guess.
Jackie was like an uncle for me. He was wonderful. When I went to the Comedy Store in 1986, after Mitzi Shore, who owns the Comedy Store, God bless her soul, she left us, but she came to Dangerfields one night and we immediately connected, and she said, I want you to come to the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, which I did. it just turns out that Jackie, and I had already worked with him at Dangerfields in September 21st, 1984, but who's counting? I opened for him there. I happen to remember the night it was advertised in the paper, and of course it was thrilling. And we kept in touch. I also auditioned and got a role in a movie that never came out, where it was called The Stick Up, where I did a scene with Jackie. But it was great to do that scene with him. He was holding up a bank, and I was on the line, and I wouldn't let him go past me as a very elderly woman. I did a character that I used to do I used to have an alter ego in my stand-up act, a grandmother, Grandma Vanessa Blofarb, and he liked that character a lot. Anyway, not to divert myself, I was going to digress.
We're following the diversion. So you know Jackie May, you're in a movie that never came out with him. You've opened for him. You've worked. No, I'm trying to condense the thing here to get to. But
it so happened when I was in Los Angeles in 1986, his wonderful, who became his wife eventually, Jill Rosenfeld, who was his manager and was his manager terrifically. She had the wonderful idea of putting him in a theater, the same act in a theater. And all of a sudden, as Jackie said, you put a shirt in a department store, and it's different, everybody sees it differently. I happened to have been there the exact same time that he was there, and he would pick me up at the Comedy Store, and I'd spend days with him. I saw him at first the Las Palmas Theater. I would go backstage. Lily Tomlin went back there once. I mean, then after that, it was oh, it's almost time to end.
No, my Tiwala is here. Hold on. Thank you ever so much, Tiwala. So she knows my throat, which is starting to get very nice and gentle. So
can she give me one too?
A sip of tea.
Maybe I can get one from her too. All right.
Oh, that's better. There we go. Okay, good.
That's great. That was much better.
So I'm saying, yeah. So
he would pick me up at the Comedy Store, or I was at a cottage that Mitzi put me up for. First, it's a long story. Anyway, I lived there. I lived there till I came back. I missed my boyfriend, my family. I was there for over a year. Mitzi sent me everywhere, Las Vegas, to the Dunes, San Diego, all the different comedy stores. And I played their Comedy Store. I brought up Richard Pryor. It was great. Anyway, what I was saying was Jackie Mason would pick me up, and I said that many times, pick me up.
I know what we know what you mean.
Not that I was on the floor, but that's
not what I was thinking.
The excitement was, yeah, right. Thank you. The excitement was that it was like a relative I would spend the day with. This went on for a year. I would go backstage from whatever theater he was at. After that was the New Canaan. I'm not saying it right, but the Canaan.
I say Canaan because of who I am, but Canaan, from New Canaan, Connecticut Theater or something like that.
Well, actually, it was in Los Angeles. So I'm going by a long memory from 1980. But anyway, the one after Las Palmas, he went to the other one. I'm not pronouncing it right, but I had the joy of watching him, and he gave me the kindness of appreciating whatever notes I would give him. He wanted my feedback.
That is from
one comic to another.
It's like God saying, "Hey, Abraham, what do you think of the tree there?" And that's pretty.
Yeah, but not to give myself. He would do that with people. But
right there, yeah.
Not to be so arrogant, but he would do that with he would interview everybody, and he was always finding out how to make things better. It was fascinating to watch him. A great mentor, of course.
So who was? Be honest, especially if they're dead. Who was an asshole? Which comedians were really vain, or just were doing so much blow that Mrs. Blofarb was not?
Just say who was difficult to work with.
Who was difficult?
Who was interesting? Who was
Yeah.
interesting?
Which comedian was interesting?
Thank you, Joyce. That's Joyce, right?
She's got to work in the business. Come on.
Well, she's an she's a one-person show actress now. She's like a comedian. She's an actress.
Rabbi, people do multiple things. Women are multi-talented.
As well. I tried to give you multis, but it never. No, I'm talking about my dear wife Miriam Libby, of course, of also blessed memory, who's still very much alive. So, who was a schmuck?
Oh.
I'm going through the file, and it's very difficult to really think of that. I can get back to you on that.
Well, we will absolutely have you on again. But I want to say, because we do have a guest that we're bringing on at 10 o'clock, the cabaret
I
person.
love him. I love him.
Would you like to stay? Well, you won't really get to talk much, but every once in a while you could chime in, or we can let you go and have you back and then have our.
Or she could just say hi.
I had a work appointment that I was going to do, but which I had mentioned beforehand when we set this up. But I'm so sorry that but I love the fellow coming up here. He was in my audience when I was doing stand up, and I found him in my audience, and he became my son when I was very theatrical. I find my son, my ex-husband, the woman who ruined the relationship, the tramp with my ex-husband. In any event, it's a lot of fun. My stand-up when I used to do it. Now I do the theater, the one-person plays.
Yes.
The Doctor Is Not In was my last play that I did with Austin before this one. So that's exciting. But
what's really exciting is that Nancy Redman is doing her show, A Seance with Mom. And you can see it at the Chain Theater from August 21st, so that's about a week or so away, through September 3rd. 18 performances at the Chain, 312 West 36th Street. Remind people, and again, I don't have your website. Can people go to your website and get tickets and all that sort of thing, or find out more about you?
There is a URL, and it's, well, they can go to my Facebook page, Nancy Redman. It's public, because the URL is our show / Seance with Mom.
As soon as you start putting slashes in,
You Google the title of her show and her name.
This Seance with Mom, or if you can't spell seance, because who can, or if you're worried there's an accent in there, which otherwise it'd be Seance, which would make no. So you've got to go to. Just look for Nancy Redman. You'll see that she's doing this show, and that don't go to a page where it says, "Oh, it's over already." No, it's coming back. It's happening August 21st through September 3rd at the Chain Theater in Midtown on the west side between 8th and 9th Avenue over there. So, Nancy, I must have you back because
I must be back. I must be back because you're wonderful. I love you and your wife, even though I don't see her, but I do see her.
Anyway, well, she's going to show, she's bringing up the Facebook page as we speak. And then Richard, hold on one moment, we'll get you right on the show. Let's get Richard on. You'll say a shalom to him, then you have to go work because you're too important for this show. I'm admitting Richard Holbrook into the neighborhood here. and so, meanwhile.
And I want to see everybody show up at the show. And we've had Q&As after the show, let me just say, because there are some serious subjects and people just don't. Just to let you know, some people just don't want to get up they sit and they want to ask questions, and we have some Q&As. I hope it's meaningful, my show. That's how I'll leave it with you. I hope it's meaningful.
Oh, yeah.
As it has been for me to do it. A Seance with Mom.
A seance with, I see people come to my shows, they can't get up. You know, they need help.